Hello, good evening. So
Good
we are in live.
evening.
We can
Hello.
see only three of us because today we are going to have a good number of teacher from our country, and they are from different reputed school, English medium school. That exactly. So today we are going to talk about international education. With that, we are going to talk about how to optimize opportunities of online classes to meet the success. That's not only for the international student exactly or international curriculum student, that exactly for everyone. Everyone, which means the people who are not having international curriculum but has accessibility of internet. So let's see, we are going to listen from a good number of people exactly here who are expert on this track, and they are exactly pioneer of online classroom or distance learning in our country. So thank you, sir, ma'am, for joining with us.
Thanks a
You're
lot
welcome.
for inviting us.
Thank you for
Thank you.
inviting. Feeling good?
So thanks a lot. Let me introduce exactly. I'm Shariful Anwar. I'm the moderator of CareerCare.com. CareerCare.com is taking care of career development of youth generation who are looking for job and who are preparing for the job exactly. And you are working behind the scene for a long period of time. So thanks for joining again. And yes, we are going to listen from you today. And the listener and the viewers who are exactly, yeah, a good number of viewers that we can see already, they're watching us. And I will go to Ronald Cruz, sir. All of us, we know that we are suffering a situation exactly, we are passing a situation due to COVID-19 or coronavirus effect. So where from that came exactly in your mind, because you started at the beginning. Okay, that right after 17 March, the school has declared it closed exactly from that day. Maybe you started from 18 or 19, so far I can remember exactly. I heard from you. So where from
Yes.
it came to your mind that that could be the right solution right now. So that I want to listen from you. And a brief introduction from you, sir.
Okay.
Where you are,
Thank you.
what you are doing exactly with that.
Thank you, Shori sir. I'm Ronald Cruz. I'm a educator actually. I'm a physics graduate from Dhaka University. I'm a Josephian and a Notre Damean. So these are value added. Obviously, I must say that.
The right
Okay.
solution right
Now
now. So that I want
the point
and
that I'm asked to share, like being a teacher or educator, I always find that student must be there to communicate with the teachers. Uh, the success of a teacher obviously how, not the number. I have 500 students that I taught them, but the quality. Quality is one of the factors that we, at this point, that we must think about. Um, then we refer to the classroom system that you have to be very regular in your classes. Yes. So we are not having a physical class now, but when this COVID-19 started and we thought of, uh, they have been deprived from their regular attendance. So we have to do something about them. We have, being a person of value, and where students look at us as something will come from them, as a mentor, as a guide. So we thought of giving them having an access to a foreign platform. I also found out that the way that I had my courses, I wanted to give it to my students. So I, along with some very close and reputed teachers, we started a platform called Base. My following people will speak about this. But why Base, or why we need this coming up and reach out to you? First point, that student deserve their right. To student need to have their right intact. They are have to be educated. So there is a course there in any school that you go to. There is a course curriculum and a syllabus to handle. So there was this hotspot situation when we shut down some mid-March. So we need to think about, hey, let's get and fix them. Let's repair them. So I personally, those who were my personal student, private student, if I may put it, also I informed the school, let us not let us get into the business. So you'll be surprised to know that in one particular classroom, I have something like about 70 to 80 students. Okay, and it's sometimes it's difficult to give your ear to them, but you need to have a control over them. Now, the facilities about getting into this system. Number one, that you are actually one-to-one system. The student who is looking at me is only looking at me. So that's the first advantage. Sorry, sir, I think there will be other points that I will be sharing soon enough, but I think other
Thank you,
participants.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Right.
We got some idea exactly that you already explained here. This is a very good solution for the students that you have introduced exactly here. Yes, we are going to listen from you more about it, and really important now how to give that solution, because it's a solution you are talking about. So far, we can remember education is not a place. No, education is a solution, and you are working on it. Thanks a lot. So for providing that solution. I'll go to Shamim sir. Shamim Siddiqui sir is here, so he already joined with us. Shamim sir, I would like to listen from you that you are working in an institute and that started long back exactly this solution, online solution, and also you are tie up with this team exactly. We are having the team today as BAs. And I would like to know from you which subject you are teaching and why do you prefer this subject in your life so that the student can get idea about it.
Mm, I am teaching chemistry. I've been teaching chemistry from the beginning. As a student, I was always better at physics, but I enjoy chemistry, both learning and teaching, because I always felt that you get your hands dirty, you work with things on a regular basis, which makes a lot of difference in the way things function.
Hello again, and yes, we are going to.
But with online classroom that Ronald sir was talking about earlier, the biggest part of this platform is that instantaneously you can provide some assistance to a student knowing that he or she is making a mistake somewhere. For example, during online classroom, right away when you're explaining something, you can go to some video, share with the student. Look at this. This is how this concept is working. These are some of the tools you can have with you when you are doing online classroom. On the other hand, when you're doing physical classroom, there are limitations. You cannot always jump into things you want to get into because of limitations. But here, there is no limitation. One on one, those who want to learn, for them, this is a perfect platform.
Exactly. Very good. Very good. Thank you, sir. We were listening from Shamin sir. It's an open platform. Anyone can get the access of this platform. And you are offering, so far we know, you are offering not only for Dhaka, you are offering for the whole country who are availing this education. And that could be a milestone for the nation exactly. So I'll go to Sonia Miss. Sonia Miss is here. Sonia Miss, could you please introduce yourself? And let us know something more about, because you have already started having class in online, so something about your experience. We'll go to the detail later. Sonia Miss, we can't hear you. Maybe just a minute.
Can you
Okay.
hear me now? Can
Yeah,
you hear
yes,
me now?
yeah, it's all right, we
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay, fine. So this is Sonia Siddiqui, and I have been teaching English language for O and A level. It's like more than 15 years, almost like 18 years is going on. So about this thing that the platform we have created, already Ronald sir and Shamun sir, they have talked about a lot of benefits of this platform. But especially, I would include one more thing with it. That is like the current situation of the country and the current situation of Dhaka city, like the traffic congestion, and also like our environment, our security on the street and in different places. So I think that it's a very relaxing thing for the parents because they can be very vigilant about their children taking classes online. And what I have observed that the parents, they are always beside the student even when the class is going on. So it is actually a benefit for the parents that they can have their eyes over their children. At the same time, they can monitor like what are the things the children they are doing online and how well the child is actually learning his lessons. So I think that is a very good facility and the benefit of online classes for parents. And yeah, so that is a very like a positive point for online classes. And the way Shorif sir said that we are going to spread actually like all the teachers around the entire country, they are welcome to our platform because we are aiming at like spreading within the entire country and maybe inshallah in future abroad. So we are going to welcome good teachers, good facilitators, and educators, along with students from all the corners of the country. So that was one thing I really wanted to add, that our parents are going to be very, very happy as they are going to be habituated with this kind of platform. So I would
Exactly.
yeah, I would like to add some more points, but later I'll pass it
Thank you.
on to
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, Miss. Thank you, Miss, for giving us a clear idea on it. I'll go to Shabab sir. Shabab sir, can you hear me? Could you please unmute so that we can hear from you? And Shabab sir is here. So I would like to listen from Shabab sir something related to that because our point is online class or online solution that exactly necessity of this nation, not only nation, all over the world, where it was not applicable all over the world before. So you having started online class. What are the problems that you face exactly? That we want to know from you.
Good.
Okay. So, hello everyone. So, this is Shabab Bashar. I'm teaching ON levels chemistry. I'm teaching since 2009, and currently I'm working at Mastermind as a senior ON levels chemistry teacher. So, basically, to say about online class right now, online education is a basic need because we cannot stop the education. And as we are educators, we have to continue the thing. So to provide education right now, the online is the only thing, and we have to do that because we have to adapt with the environment. So, like as we all know, the problems that we're facing right now is actually, what should I say, the internet speed. That is one of the main thing, because when we're actually conducting a math class, a lot of students just come right now and go out. So for that, I think one of the best solution is we can keep a recording and then provide the students that record. So this is one of the solution
Exactly.
to the problem.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
and the other problems, actually, in online class, I find no other problems. This is the only problem that I found actually, because the students are coming in and out because we actually cannot keep control on the electricity or the Wi-Fi connection. So that is the main thing. So we can use besides Wi-Fi, we can also keep the data pack as a backup. So that also helps a lot. As a teacher, I always do that, and that's by providing the recording, I can also do the solution. I can provide the solution.
Yeah,
Exactly.
thank you. Thank you. These are the issues came exactly to everyone. Everyone is exactly facing this problem. It's a common problem all over the world, not only in our country. Internet accessibility, affordability, and yeah, you have already considered all these issues. So From that, exactly, we can understand you have a very good research work. That's great. So these people who have joined here, exactly, they are doing research on it. That's why we call them for this session. Exactly, this is not applicable for only for the student. This is applicable for the executives. This is applicable for the people who are job seeker. So I'll go to Ronald sir again. So Ronald sir, how we can get more student on it, exactly how they can get more accessibility of it, if you have any prescription on it, particular solution that you have, if you have, so could you please suggest to everyone, because this live will be seen by lots of government people, lots of high officials, and also our target audience are exactly vast and all over the world it will go. So please share with us something about it.
Thank you again. Uh, I would rephrase the question, if I may, that more student, rather, how can I'd like to put it this way, that it's not more student, it's how can I be with mass people? How can I be connected with the student? Yes, at this time, if COVID is actually teaching us a great lesson, if we still are not learning from there, I don't think that we are ever going to learn anything. Basic idea that we need to help each other. This COVID is giving us a lesson that we are all made for each other.
Maybe internet interruption. So we got exactly, that from Shabab sir, that just now we heard from Shabab sir. Yeah, that problem we are facing. So yeah, it happening last few days exactly, the drop of
Exactly.
internet.
Right.
So let us wait for Sir. Maybe he will join again, and I'll go to Shamin sir again. Shamin sir, you know that we are facing all this problem. Yes, some problem that we cannot resolve exactly immediately within a minute or within a click by clicking them exactly. So the thing is, you are teaching chemistry, and chemistry has practical. So is it possible to teach them in online practical classes? Is it possible to have practical classes in online?
Uh, yes, it is very much possible. It is very much possible. The thing is, you see, what you're calling problems, I would have liked it if it were problems. But it's actually not problem. These are the challenges we are facing. The things we face today are challenges. Like last 3 days, internet problem. I hear that some towers for in USA have gone out, and that's why this internet problem is there. Anyway, uh, the other problems are, you know, we are. For myself, I am a chemist, a chemical engineer, and I learned the art of chemistry, physics, the sciences, and the engineering. But I'm not an expert in IT. But when you're doing online classes, you have to learn at a very quick pace and pick up this IT knowledge. And when you pick up this knowledge, you will see that, especially with all the things happening with IT, there are a lot of expensive research facilities which you have to be a member, and you can get a lot of practical uh, video and so on, which you can always you have to pay for them, but you can share it with your students when you're teaching online. As a big organization, we always try to get all these resources, and this way, this teaching practical online is not so bad. But when you have physical tests, you have to do the practical. But when you see the thing done again and again, again and again, and then one or two physical practical class, you should have no problem. But when you have just physical practical class and you're teaching it like before, what happens is students keep making the same mistake because they are not following direction. But here they have no choice but to follow direction, because um, directions are what drives practical work. So when you are watching online practical being done and directions being followed, and you are doing interactively, you're also taking part in it. You have to answer questions accordingly. So it's a better way to polish your skills in practical chemistry.
Unmute.
Practical skills, yeah. Sharif sir, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you, sir. Uh, okay, so sir was talking about as if chemistry teacher, he is teaching chemistry, and it's possible to have the lab classes. Maybe you need more IT support on it. And yes, we are going to listen from Shabab also. Shabab also, sir also teaching chemistry. Welcome, Partho sir. Partho Sharati Devnath. Partho Sharati Devnath sir is exactly one of the senior teacher in our country. So he is teaching math, and so far I know the only teacher who is teaching further math in our country. So welcome, Partho sir. আমরা পার্থ স্যারের কাছেও শুনবো the detail about his experience, this online class going on, how he is conducting his classes, and is there any suggestion for the student how they can connect you people? Very briefly, sir. Partho sir, we can't hear you. Maybe
Unmute.
yes, please. The same problem exactly that,
Yeah.
and also interruption is going on. Last few days exactly we are facing that problem, but hopefully it will be fine within a very short period of time. Parthu sir, can you hear me? Maybe he has to join again. Exactly the same problem we are facing by using this StreamYard. Okay, so let's see. Sir will join again. We will listen from him. Sonia Miss, you are connecting through internet, all right, but some issues are there, like assessment. You have to check their copies. How do you check their copies exactly here? Because you are teaching English language, and yes, you have to go to word by word. I know the critical job you are doing among all of them exactly. So can you share with us that how you're doing it?
Yeah, sure. Actually, what I believe that every teacher has his or her individual technique to go through this procedure of checking scripts online. So what I do with my students, I actually rely on taking photos mostly. Like they take their photos of their work and they send me either on Messenger. And what I do, it's actually a bit that a matter of expertise. I have developed it with time. So I just check their work per photo and I correct it, like editing and all that skill. Like I'm learning different IT and computer graphics and other things while checking their script. And then I have to actually sit down with them individually to find out their errors and to rectify them. So everything is happening in this way. Like I have developed my own way of dealing with their scripts and everything. It's true that it's taking a lot of time from me. I have to be engaged with my work like throughout the entire day, and there is no Friday, Saturday, or anything. But what happens as I'm taking my classes online and I'm always at home, so somehow I'm trying to manage it. So about English language, you have well told it that I have to go through like word by word, and like through my procedure, I'm trying to manage it, and it's working fine. I have to give more time, but that is my technique for doing it.
Very good, very good. You are giving more effort exactly here.
Right.
And
yeah.
yes, you know, it's a technical issues also there. Like they have to send you that PDF file or JPG file so that you can check immediately. You are checking it immediately. So, dear students and parents, see, you can get the complete solution from your teachers. They can provide it immediately. What you cannot get from the other format like video clips or the other format that you can see. Parthu sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay,
Did you hear
finally.
me now?
Yes, sir, we can hear you
Okay,
exactly.
okay,
That I
thank
have
you,
already
thank you.
mentioned. Sir is teaching in different school. Sir, could you please introduce yourself so that the people, the audience, they can know something about you? Then I have some question that I will ask after that. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good evening, everybody. I am Partho Sharothi Devnath, teaching mathematics actually from 1992 in different schools. Started my A-level career actually in Scholastica 1995, and then I was there for a long time. Still, I am there, though I have a gap between the years. In between, I joined in so many schools. So it is actually not yes. It's most of the school of this country or in Dhaka city which has some name and fame like Sunnydale, ESS, Scholastica is there. I am already in Greenhead. I am already there. I was in Oxford. Also, I was in some other school like South Breeze, South Point, and all this. So everywhere I actually teaches A-level mathematics. I started my career as A-level mathematics from the beginning, and still I am an A-level mathematics teacher. So most of the O-level student actually don't know that much about me. Though when they come to A level, they only can recognize, oh, there is someone called Parthasarathi Devnath sir. Some student know me as a Devnath sir, some student know me as a PhD sir. The ex-student of mine, those who are in different countries now, they usually know me as PhD sir. Okay, so
Okay.
that's my introduction.
Okay, thank you, sir. See that we can call him PhD, Patto sir, or Partho Sharathi Devnath or Devnath sir. So, yeah, that's good. We are introducing lots of teacher here. I told you, see, you can see bunch of teacher here in front of us. A good number of viewers here. They are keeping eyes on us. They are listening to us. I'll go to Ronald sir. Ronald sir is here. Exactly. We can see Ronald sir is here. Ronald sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I'm
Oh,
sorry
very
for
good.
that. Like Shabab mentioned about the internet disorder, and I
Exactly. That
and
you have
just
mentioned.
got
We got a practical
that
example
does
of
happen.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just disappeared. I just disappeared. Yeah.
All right. All
Yes,
right. So,
proceed.
sir, I was asking Sonia Miss regarding that she is checking immediately their copies because she is teaching English language, and I was asking to Shamim sir regarding the practical lab. So I have the same question to you exactly. How do you check their copies? Because you are doing class online, okay, and you have also practical lab. How do you manage, and what is your plan exactly in future to make it more effective?
Fantastic. It's a very good question. Being a teacher, one of the major parts is the checking the paper, doing the correction. If I don't give my correction to my student, they're actually half learned. So initially, when I looked at this situation, I found it pretty difficult, because we have a habit of marking on the paper, and there's a red ink, there's a blue ink, or whatever the thing that we use. So I found out that online checking, there's an amazing field there. Okay, amazing. So there's a PDF corrector, there's a image corrector, and I can borrow the tick with the color. I can borrow the ticks with the color, and I can also write it with a cursor. So, which I did. I did. I have taken a couple of online tests, and I have checked about few hundreds of paper. Though it's a little time consuming. I agree. I agree that it is more load of our work that we did before. It is the extension is more. But in future, I think yes, a good question here. This system that we are having here can be a little upgraded. Okay, like if I have a magnetic pen instead of a mouse, so that if I have a board and I can easily do the correction. I think those software are here already. I find it very comfortable. I find it even more comfortable than checking with a pen and pencil now, honestly speaking. Okay, and like one of the very major things that I share my screen of a computer. Here, there's an answer script here, and there's a question paper, or there's a paper to be checked. So I'm rolling both of them, and instantaneously I'm doing the correction. I find it
Right.
very helpful. I find it very helpful.
Exactly. Very good,
I
sir.
would
I was
like to add
asking.
with Ronald sir here just
Okay.
one
Yeah.
more
Sure.
point, if I'm being
Sure.
allowed to add it with
Sure.
him,
Sure. Sure. Sure.
because this is actually like a new discovery for all us educators. This is a new thing for us, because when I started
Absolutely.
taking classes online, I found out that I can provide different kinds of notes to students, like right on the spot. Like, this is very idiosyncratic about these online classes, that we have the enormous source of notes online, and that we can choose which one will be suitable for a particular child. Not that all type of
Absolutely.
notes
Absolutely.
will be that applicable for all the students. You have to
Very good. Very good.
significantly identify. For example, a mediocre student, he might need a special type of note, and a fast learner would need different type of notes. So I can actually provide it right then when I'm taking my classes. So that's a very important benefit of online classes, which I couldn't do in my physical classes.
Sharif sir,
That I
if
would
you may
Yes,
allow
please.
me,
Yes.
if you allow
Yes,
me,
please.
I'd like to add one
Sure.
more thing here, along with Sonia's just a recent added point. Like, I find that when I'm doing the classes on Zoom, I don't have to use a different screen to show the videos. Okay, which
All
I
right.
had to prepare myself in a class when I'm taking the class on a whiteboard, or maybe I had to wait for the projector to set up, blah blah blah. But here it is already set up. I can straightly go to that particular web and I can show this kinetic motion or the graphical growth. I just give the values there, and the graph is automatically drawn. So that's fantastic. I find online
And there,
teaching is more efficient than that we had in the practical classes
Yeah,
or
we are
physical
loving it.
classes.
Very
Honestly,
good, very good, very good, sir.
I have
Just now join. Yeah, I'll come to you, sir. Shamim, sir. Just now join Afnan, sir. Here, I would like to introduce him exactly. The way we are introducing you, exactly, you are introducing yourself. So let us listen from Afnan, sir. Afnan, sir, could you please introduce yourself so that the people can know exactly? A good number of viewers are watching us and they want to listen from you. Could you please introduce yourself shortly?
Okay, so
We'll go with
I'm
question.
Apna.
Yes.
So I'm actually working as a maths teacher at Sunnydale currently. Also, I teach privately students all areas of maths like Edexcel, Cambridge, further maths, all the units of maths. Uh, so I'm happy to be part of this team. And at the same time, I also have a YouTube channel where I also provide free lessons on various topics in maths.
Superb, superb. So that's great, exactly. Uh, See, we are here exactly to share, no, the people with a good soul. Shamim sir wants to add something with this, I think. Right after that, I'll go to Parthu sir and Afnan sir. I have some question for them. Shamim sir, you want to add something?
yes, there are
Could you
two
please?
great things about this online checking. Although it's tedious, it takes a little bit more time, but it also cuts our time somewhere else. One, we don't have to record the mark, which takes a lot of time also. It's all automatically done.
Ah,
And
superb.
automatically
yes.
you just submit the work. Secondly, you're submitting the work to the student, so he or she gets the work back. Thirdly, there is a good option for making comments on the answers, which
Oh,
actually is a better way to learn. It's the
superb.
comments through which you learn.
I agree. I agree.
Not
All
checking.
right.
When we have
Okay.
physical classroom, how are we checking? Tick cross, we give the mark finish.
Ah,
But here,
superb.
you are getting into the student's head. What he is writing, when you're reading it, you're making comments, you are actually communicating with that student one to one. This is the beauty of it.
Superb, superb. See, that thing we got from Sonia is exactly, she talked about the sharing, easy to share. Ronald sir also focus on it,
Easy to
immediately
share.
sharing, immediately. So more participation that we can see here from the teacher's point of view. Yes, that also we heard that they have to give more effort on it. We are giving more effort to give them correction immediately or to show them the solution immediately. I'll go to Parthu sir. Parthu sir, can you hear me? And I have to listen from you regarding that.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, sir. How do you give immediate feedback? Like they are exactly solving, they are showing video or whatever they have exactly materials. Immediately they can share based on the requirement of the student. So I would like to listen from you because you are doing math for A levels. I know A levels exactly. They are senior batch. So how do you manage this part?
Okay. Thank you. Main thing is that in maths, what happened that different students at different pace to learn. Most of the students are not equally likely. You cannot consider them that everybody are in same pace. So can they
True,
do
true.
the maths in same time? It's not possible. Some students are there who are actually a slow learner. They learn it, but it takes a bit time. Some are very fast. Those who do it very quickly. So what happened in online learning? I find that it is easier to me because when I found that a student is first, I can give him or her some extra works immediately from my collection so that he
Super.
could be engaged with that. He could be
Yeah.
engaged with that. And by that time, I
Yes.
can connect with the slower one and I can give him the extra what he needs, extra work, so that he could get it easily individually. This individual thing can be done in online teaching is very
Internet,
good. This is very good,
online class.
but in internet,
Absolutely.
online class.
That's what
But
I mentioned.
one thing I face problem actually. That is what when I took the extra classes, extraordinary classes like further maths.
All right.
Usually, further maths won't have that much students in the society. Suppose there are very few students who took further maths because it is a very challenging maths. So I found three or four students in one group and three or four students in another group. What happened when I do not the the practical teaching? I used to keep them all in one group, and I used to teach them multi-functioning. Like I teaching one student to pure, another student to mechanics, another student to statistics. So all them they are together. They are doing individual works, and I look after them everywhere. Like 8 or 9 students, you can look after individually. What happened in online? I cannot take this combined group in one section because it makes a chaos in online. So I had to make individual groups. That's the problem I am facing actually for extraordinary subjects like further maths, like mechanics, like higher statistics. S2, there are very few students in S2. So I have just 10 students in one group. This is how I have to manage. Further maths, I have 3 students, 4 students. I cannot keep them together. I have to keep them
Right.
separate as because they have separate choice. That's one
Uh,
problem I am facing actually. Nothing else, but it is fine. I can go with. Okay.
all
Did you
right.
get it?
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Sorry.
sir. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, very good.
Like
Exactly.
I'd like to add one point with Partha
Sure,
here.
sir. Sure, sir.
Like like he said, uh, this was actually my very first discussion. That when I said this is when I'm teaching online, I find one to one. The
One
student
to one.
only is facing me. Yes, it's one-to-one situation. So I find that students are more benefited here. Number two, I find that there's no options that you can have any sort of a skipping out of the class because when I'm doing the class, I want to see my student. I want the cameras to be on, and whatever the lesson I'm giving, I'm focusing on everybody. It is possible if I'm having all of them in my screen and I can see in physical classes what happens. I have to say, hey, in that corner, please pay attention, those kind of things. And that corner, these two boys are talking, so I have to have their attention. Say, but here I find that for their own interest they have
Exactly.
to be on the on the ground, on the line.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So it become reverse exactly. Students are giving concentration on you. They are coming with full
they're
attention
losing
on
out.
you exactly. Yes,
Exactly.
really good.
If they
Yeah,
don't pay attention, they're
Yes, yes,
losing
sir.
out, and they know that. They know that.
I,
They're
super.
very much
I
aware.
can share another thing. I can share another thing.
Sure,
I
sir.
can share
Yes,
another thing. It is what happened in my online classes. I found that what happened, most of the students are concentrating on me. So
exactly,
I am going bit
exactly.
faster. I am feeling that I am actually going a bit faster. Why? Because
Super.
I don't have to that concentrate with other things. When I'm taking a chapter, I am concentrating on that. I am giving the lectures, or I am giving them some extra words, or I am giving them some clues. This is how you have to do. This is how to do. Everybody is following only that. So
Very good.
it
Very good.
takes less time. It takes less time actually to teach
One
more.
more point, if you allow me,
Sure, sir. Sure,
he was
sir.
just saying that like his feeling. Sometimes I feel that I'm the only person in the room because it's so absolutely quiet. I'm speaking, I'm writing, and some of the time I have to solve the problem here. After giving the question, then I have to ask, "Hey, are you here?" Because they are paying 100% concentration. They're just looking and just trying to copy whatever the things I'm telling them. So I find this is a very intimidated a way to reach somebody. 100%, 100%. They are trying to get the whole out of it. So sometimes I get shattered. Hey, are you here? I knocked. Hey, why aren't you answering me? Okay, so these are the factor happens. I don't know. Most maths teacher will have this kind of feeling because when you're solving something, you find that you're all on yourself. They
Very
don't
good.
even
Very good.
stop you because they think like, yeah, this is I don't know. So let him finish first, then we'll wait and ask him. My general classes and practical or physical classes are generally quiet, but online classes are even quieter. So
Exactly. Very good.
it's
So,
sort of yeah.
from the effectiveness point of view that we would like to share with our parents and the audience of the students, yeah, it exactly really effective, and it will be or it can be more effective based on them exactly. It depends on them exactly. Their participation, their exactly that you already mentioned. Your physical classroom also really quiet, no? So they are listening to you, and this is more attentive classroom
more
exactly.
more
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 attentive
effective,
classroom. Very good, very
more
effective
effective.
classroom. I will go
So,
to afternoon, sir.
yeah. So actually,
Uh,
you have actually
yes,
mentioned
sir.
all the points already. But there is like
Yes,
one opportunity I found is that it's much
sure.
easier. I can record the lesson in
Ah,
when I'm taking
super.
class online. I can record the lessons. So actually,
Yes,
some topics maybe in the first go the students found a bit difficult. But when they look at it again, look at the lesson again, then this can be actually much easier. And also sometimes maybe a student has missed a lesson. It has happened to me recently actually. But then like actually, I'm actually privately teaching some Father math students also. So one student actually missed a lesson. So actually, I recorded the lesson and then I send it in the group. So it's very helpful for that student and for
effective,
all the students
wonderful.
also. And there is actually like a
Oh,
library, so they can refer back
Right.
to it later on or revision also.
If
I
you allow
will
me,
add it. Okay.
I'd like to add one more
After
point.
Razul.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Sonia, I just
It's
interrupted
okay.
here.
It's okay. After you, sir.
Yeah,
No problem.
like often just open another branch here. Like
Mm-hmm.
sure.
when I go back to those and I check those recording, and I've because when you get preoccupied with the lesson, there's certain thing that this may slip out. It's absence of mind or absence of total attention. You go carried away. You're doing one problem and you stick to the problem, and the lesson part sometimes goes slips out. That when I go and just check those recorded version, and I find out, oh, I missed that. So I come back and next day I can recover that.
Self reminder.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's just a reminder.
Super,
That's a very good
super,
reminder
super.
in that case.
So if I
Yes,
say in this way, sir, you are you are conducting class. They are taking note. They can review from there. Also, you have the physical, all those document exactly what the class you are having, what exactly physically not possible. Physical classroom,
Right.
they
Right.
cannot preserve all those document exactly,
yes,
or the whole scenario, whole lecture
absolutely,
of a teacher.
absolutely.
So thank you, Afnan sir, for
Sonia was saying something.
yeah, raising
I
that
want
issue
to add
exactly.
one
Yes,
point with
sorry, Sonia.
Afnan and Ronald sir here because I think that it will be actually very helpful for all our existing students or the students who want to take classes with us, even for other educators who want to join the O level and A level arena. So recently, I'm making my YouTube videos on different parts of the syllabus, and it actually
Exactly.
helps a lot, like recording classes. What
Yes.
happens within my existing students, sometimes I just refer them that you just visit my channel and you see video part 2, and that will help you to understand this particular lesson. So the entire thing, I mean, the facility is being manifested in different areas of the technology. Our honorable prime minister has been calling us that we are going digital, and right now I actually discovered that this is maybe what she meant, like we are going digital. So all the
Yes.
accessibilities and everything on our hand. So that is a very important point.
True.
Super, super,
Very
super. Okay, so
fantastic.
let us talk about some educational part. Like you are taking care of, you are having class, and you have accessibility. The people who have accessibility and who can afford this, yeah, all are good things that we are getting exactly. And I'll go more detail about your functionality. Like you have a complete syllabus that I want to listen from Ronald sir. So you have a huge syllabus exactly. So how do you plan and how you are finishing that syllabus, or if you have any suggestion for others, how to do that syllabus, how to continue that syllabus, how to finish that syllabus on time, because you have a deadline, and within that period of time they have to finish their syllabus and they have to prepare for the final exam. Okay, so can we hear something more about it from Ronald sir? Yes, you are going to get a huge time for it. Take time and say something detail about it.
Okay. About we have a target that this much syllabus has to be done. So if I get the question right, that uh, I can have a very measured lesson, that I will be only giving this much online, and I'm sending an assignment on that. So this is another way to even cut the syllabus short on the giving the lesson, and rather making it more effective by getting their return, their responses. When I give the assignment, I can judge a student that he has not only formed the lesson that he have studied, they are also doing some coursework, and I set up, yes, I give you the topic, please study this topic and do some output from there. I have the questionnaire ready. So assignment is also another important thing. So along with coursework, the lesson that I give them on online, I give them assignment, and also some summary work of that. This all sum up to have the course uh, end up quicker than the time that we actually expect. That I have a target to reach. This target can be reached very soon. And also some of the time that we need to do the online test. Online tests are very important to add up with this, because yes, test has some very genuine criteria how you are doing that. I believe different teachers have different ways of their own technique to take the test. I have mine. What I do for the MCQ ones, I have the question hanging on the screen for some time, and they're writing the answer. So the after sometimes maybe 1 minute, that question goes away. So I can have 20 question in 20 minutes. And then I have my other question. I have this whole thing hanging there, and they're writing it. I keep the question for 5 minutes. And at the end of the session, maybe after 40 minutes session, when they're all, I'm waiting for your answer to coming on my mailbox. I wait there. I bring the mailbox on the screen, and I wait. Who are mailing me back? I tell them, yes, Mr. A, I got your assignment. Mr. B, I got your. So this is also a very quick way to Shariful. Sir.
Sharif sir, you have to unmute yourself.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Yes, we were listening from Ronald sir. He has a complete syllabus. Exactly, each and every subject has complete syllabus, and he's solving on time with that assessment process. Step by step, you are moving towards your end of your syllabus. Thank you, sir. That could be applicable for everyone exactly all over the world, and not
Yes.
only in international curriculum. That could be applicable for our national curriculum. Follow that process. If you could make it. You can split it based on SARS prescription so that we can use in our life. All right, thank you, sir. So the thing is, we would like to know about the assessment exactly, more details. Sir already mentioned that quiz he is having, also that part of chapter wise or unit wise assessment. And I would like to listen from Afnan sir. Could you please explain how do you assess your student exactly?
So in my like in maths, the assessment is quite traditional actually. I give the worksheet, they can do the solutions and they can send me the like their answers in the PDF form. So my in my case actually is very much the more traditional way. That is like instead of sending me the physical
Okay.
paper, like they have solved the maths, they're sending me the PDF or they're sending me the pics, the pictures. So from there actually I can give the correction, I
Image.
can give the
Image.
All right.
okay.
So very good. Very good. So that we exactly got it from the previous discussion. The same process exactly you are following. Very good. Exactly. And you already mentioned that you are sharing immediately. I would like to listen from Shamin sir. That would be the about the challenges. We are going to talk about now the problems that we are facing. We all talk about all about the prospect of our solution. Could you please share something about the challenges except those electricity and that internet part, uh, so that people can get to know about it,
Yes.
so that they can prepare themselves exactly.
Well, challenges are nothing new to a teacher. But this challenge is a little different because, for example, when you're trying to set up an assessment paper, question paper, now you have to, for chemistry or physics or maths, you have to insert all kinds of equations, all kinds of formulas. And when you for online work, if you really want to do it in a new, challenging way, then sometimes there is no option. You cannot type it properly. So that is a big challenge because different softwares are there for this, but we are not used to it. We have never seen it in all these years of learning and teaching. So this is a big challenge, right? So accessibility. Lately, I have seen that after we have gone online, everything was free for a couple of months, and now every little software is asking us for a hefty amount of money. You know, that's premium attached to
Yes.
everything. So this is a for education. I have always believed all my life that education uh, can be expensive, but the tools of education should be free. You know, that's a different topic altogether, different thing to a different arena to talk about. But the tools of education should not be commercially motivating. You know, it
Very,
becomes
very good point exactly, sir.
extremely difficult for teachers like us. You know what I mean? We live in we are teachers. At the end of the day, we are teachers, and if we have to pay hefty amount of money to get something to facilitate our teaching, then it is just not fair because we live in that part of the world where we are not super rich people, you know, to pay hefty sums. So this is something. This is policies that can be dealt with, or I'm sure the policy makers are also looking at it, and maybe in the end
Obviously, they are
someday
also
it'll
considering
have
it.
something.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thanks for raising that issue. Exactly, that also came to our discussion, national-wide discussion, that availability of internet or accessibility of internet should be available in lower price so that you can we can use it smoothly. So I would like to listen from Parthu sir. So Parthu sir, how we can reach you exactly? How student can reach you exactly immediately or smoothly? So that could you please share with us that how they can get you exactly from where and which network?
Okay, thank you, thank you, everybody. Mostly the thing here happened that those who are my students, they are, I am always actually friendly with them. Most of the time, I found that I am mostly friendly with them, even if he
Yes,
is a young kid or whatever it is, because mathematics is a matter of concept. If you are not, if you cannot be friendly, you cannot give the concept inside her or him. Okay, so that's why I sometimes I tell joke to them. Maybe it's a very lame joke, but even then I told so that they
breaking the
could be
ice,
refreshed. Something
Yeah.
they could refresh, something like that.
breaking
Okay,
ice. Yes,
and
good.
breaking the ice, something like that. And what happened that as I am a bit older now. Sometimes they could not communicate with me with that, so that makes a bit problem sometimes. But even then, as a teacher, they thought that okay, we I'm getting my part when I need it. And what I found that the student who came to me actually they are serious. They know that I have to take something from sir. Since it is A level teacher students, so they are serious. They remain serious actually. Those who are not that serious, what happened that if I take a 1 hour long session in my practical class, like in my coaching or in my school, what happened if I take a 2 hour class or 1 hour class, in between the student become that they become some lazy. They would, sir,
Exhausted.
we did so much things, let us give me a break. And what happened in practical class, they could take a 5 minutes break, they could go out to move around and then come back with refreshment. In
Yes,
online,
yes.
what happened that they have not that opportunity at all. But
They
they
have
are
nowhere
sitting
to
in their
go.
chair and they are nowhere to go. Their
And
guardians are there. If they come out, they will ask, hey, why are you coming out? Is the class
yeah,
ended? So they cannot tell a
Very
lie,
good.
no, class is not ended. So they had to sit. That sometimes makes a problem. Sometimes the student become boring, sir. It's too much we are taking. Please give me a break. Give me a break. I am not giving them. I am not getting the opportunity to giving the break in online. That the problem I am sometimes facing, but it is okay that they are doing very seriously. That's the main thing actually. Yeah.
Very good issues exactly, sir raised. Thank you, sir, for
Yeah.
raising that issue exactly. Yeah, but still they are at home. It means they have that comfortable zone. No, so they don't need to go there
they,
anywhere.
they are always
So
the comfortable. That is okay. That
absolutely,
is okay. Yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, with that positive and negative, both the side is there because you have already mentioned. All of you exactly mentioned that they are coming with full attention, full
yes.
concentration. So exactly, you need to give them break. And I know
They
all of you are using different media, different multimedia, means video clips and different motion clip. Yeah, Shamim sir wants to add with this
Yeah,
exactly.
there's
Shamim.
one thing interesting that popped up today, earlier today, in one of my many meetings that I conduct, and they are coming up with the new guidelines for online classes, and it turns out that it is seen that attention span during online classes, they've been already in 3 4 months they have been able to do some research to figure out that we should not be taking online classes for more than 30 minutes, because 30 minutes is the maximum attention a child can have or you can have, because in traditional classes you are doing say 20 30% of the talking, a, a student is doing 70% of the talking, but here you are doing 100% of the talking
Yes.
and 100% everything.
Yes.
As a result,
Very
it's
good
also a
point.
matter of absorption from the other end. We can talk, but it's not going in, it's not going to work. So
Exactly.
they have done some research, and earlier today at like 4 o'clock, uh, it is like you're thinking about limiting classes to like 30 minutes. So this is something new to
So that will
ponder
be
on.
more effective. Exactly. Very good point. Exactly, Shamim sir raised. I think rest of the teacher will be agree with this. I think.
I would like to add one more thing with
Yes,
with
sir.
Samir here.
Ronald sir.
Uh, generally, like Pato and I, we are what, almost simultaneously has started to come into this arena, and we find out that when we're taking the physical classes, the student comes for 1 hour and a half, or maybe 2 hours, and twice a week. Okay, so that measurement, I know that I can complete the syllabus if you if the student gives me 1.5 hour or 2 hours per day and twice a week, fine. But here, like Shamim added, and I had I had a different perspective of this adaptation. But what I spoke to the parents, see, now that you don't have to come to the coaching center, your son and daughter is at home, and they can do the class. So what I'm trying to do is that I'm enhancing the frequency of the mode. I'm teaching them 3 days and 1 hour.
Right.
So see, as a whole, this it is a 1.5 hour and 2 days. That was 3 hours. Now it's 1 hour every day and thrice a week. So see, my frequency increased here. And again, obviously, a student cannot keep concentration for more than 30 minutes. Yes. Then I adopt that. I crack a joke. I try to reach them. Hey, you tell me this. How would you solve that? So there must be some ways to reach them. Okay.
Right.
So see, the psychology the students have, yeah, for 30 minutes they absorb it. Then I need to take the feedback. I give a
Sir,
small problem on the screen.
sir, is
Sorry,
it possible? One more issue that I want to add with you. Exactly, is it possible to have more classes than physical classroom?
No, less as a matter of fact.
Mm,
That
more
means,
class.
it means more class means more subject they can do within that time frame. Is it possible
Oh, the
or
time frame. Okay, okay, fine. Now, this is
or
actually depending on person to person. I
right.
tell you one thing. I tell
all
you
right?
one thing. Like in physical classes, this is a very true story that I'm going to tell you now. The student comes to school at 8 and leaves at 2. And from there, the small one, you feel so embarrassed now to speak on that. The mother takes the child to 4 to 5 different coaching center with a huge crowd whole day. They're stuck on the road, and he's meeting the student is meeting the teacher, one at 3, 3:30 maybe, one at 5, one at 7, one at 9, and come back having his tongue touching the ground. So these are very serious issues. So the student had at least the 6 hours of school, and then at the end, again, 4 or 5 classes. But yes, I will agree. I will definitely agree because the school pressure is not that much at this moment. School also know that they have 4 hours of classes or something like that. So in that case, instead of four, if a student can have 5 classes, yes, they can accommodate more. I agree, depending on how or what type of student it is. If I'm a candidate, I will be obviously giving that time. But
All
yes,
right.
I don't need to pressurize myself if I'm not a candidate. So I think the time can be enhanced or more subject can be fit into chance given. Yes.
All right.
I
So
have a point with Ronald
uh,
sir. Actually,
sure.
I think Sharif sir was asking about whether we can use. I mean, we can give extra classes to the student. I think there is a very big opportunity because it's like our home office right now, and we are always available. So what happens in my case? For example, today 1 hour the batch I have packed. I felt that over there, 5 students they need extra class. So tomorrow, during any time of the day, I can arrange extra classes for the students. So
Absolutely.
I think
Okay.
some students are actually making it like 5 days a week. They're doing classes with me, maybe for half an hour, maybe for 1 hour. So it's absolutely possible to give extra classes.
Okay. Yeah. In that case, I
Very,
absolutely agree with you. I do the
very
same.
good.
Right.
I do the same.
Very good. Shamim sir also raised that 30 minutes continuous class. There could be a gap between next class, between two class
Yes,
exactly.
yes, yes, sir.
Very good, very good. I think we are getting exactly a very
And
good solution. Okay, and we'll go to the
and
end of our.
what uh,
Yes, sir. Sir wants to add something. What is sir? We want to listen from you.
what happened in maths class? We are very comfortable in that sense because we had so many things to practice for the students. Na?
Yes.
So what
Almost the
I
purpose
do,
for that.
I just
Yes.
give, I give them a 30 minutes work that I do. I discuss, I practice them a little bit. Then I told them, okay, you please try to do this sum and give me the feedback. I can wait for 15 minutes for them. So 15 minutes is your time. You finish it and then give me the feedback. That's the time we can use in online. And what happened here, if it is a classroom, most of the students do gossip between them because they are so
Yes.
close together in the classroom.
Exactly.
Huh. But what happened in the online class, that they have no one to gossip. So if I
Right.
give them 15 minutes
Exactly.
time to do some maths,
True. True.
they have to do it
Have to.
with their own concentration there. That is
Exactly.
completely okay. And everybody did very good. They come up with, okay, sir, I finished it by 10 minutes. Whereas in the classroom, it would take 30 minutes to complete all this. That's why I
Absolutely.
found very
Absolutely.
much good
Super.
in online.
Super.
And also, like in
Okay.
online
Yes.
classes, what happens, like that is also manageable by the teachers, because sometimes we see that a few students, they are going silhouettes, like we can't find them, they are not appearing on the screen. And we particularly discern that the person is not behind the camera. That means she or he is not actually attending the class. So
Absolutely.
they
Yeah.
might think to fool us at times, but we are very expert to catch them. So from that point of view also, I think the educators are, finding out new tactics to make them interested and attending the classes more and more.
Very good.
True.
So we
True.
can consider you are doing super monitoring to them during your class. No,
Yes.
Yeah.
so
Yes.
the thing is
So,
that
so
it
I
become
enjoyed
more
talk.
effective. Ronald sir has mentioned exactly there, like good number of students in physical classroom. You cannot keep eyes on everyone, but here you can keep screen your eyes on a screen and you can see all of them what they are doing exactly with attention or they are doing something else. Very good.
Right.
And I would like to go
Sir,
to
Shabab,
yes,
I think Shabab is here. He was
yes,
having
Habib
some
sir.
problem. Yeah.
Yes, I want to go to Shabab sir exactly. Shabab sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
So we were in discussion on the effectiveness of a class. We are going to make it long today because already 1 hour over. We are sharing our experience and it's going to the ether, and lots of people are going to watch us. Exactly, in different district people. It is national curriculum, international curriculum. Just sharing here. And before I go to Shabab sir, I would like to share one issue that Ronald sir has mentioned out of this discussion, that he wants to, or you people wants to have a sharing session with all teacher or a good number of teachers who are interested to that
Come
know
across.
about how you are
Yes.
conducting your class. Okay, because today we are in live. We are going to have, sir, how we are going to have it? I'm going to Ronald sir, then I'll go to Shabab sir again. Ronald sir, what is your plan exactly? How you're planning to share with different teachers that session you are planning exactly?
Well, fine. Sort of a conference, if I may put it this way, that we all need help and we all learn till the day that we die. If this is what we have, I think the thing that I know, I need to share this. So I very recently I had a session with my school where there were about 20 something teacher, and I could particularly give my sharing. These are the points where you can focus and you find out that the class is becoming very lively or more efficient. So some of the things are very technical. I uh, don't have the written script or that I cannot bring it very necessarily that you have to do this or you have to do that. This comes out automatically. My factor that when I raise a point, there will be other person who will be saying, "Sir, if you do in this way, no. Let us try to accommodate the student on the other way around." So the both sharings are there. So what I'm trying
All
to
right.
say in our platform, I'm inviting all the teachers, please come and join and see what we are doing here. You're very, very much welcome to come and join us and learn from us. And that's it. We are ready to educate you too. See,
Very good.
this is sort
Very
of a
good.
teacher's course also. Teachers can
All
also
right.
have a course.
So anyone
Yes,
can
and
join
actually,
exactly.
Yeah.
I will go to Sonia Miss. Sir, Sonia Miss, could you please share with us when you are planning to do that? Because all of you will be there, I think, on that session, and you are going to share your experience, how you are having class, and yeah, that discussion we are going doing here exactly. So when you are planning to do that, and how you are planning to offer it for everyone, could you please share with us?
Actually, what happened, like when we emerged on on the arena of teaching online, like our platform has been created and everything. So I think we already have started sending messages around that we are here and you can join with us and we can make some difference, like we can bring in some advantage for our parents and students. So we are already sending that message ourselves within the city, and now we are trying to go beyond the city, I mean the outskirts and the other districts. So first of all, we are going to use our connections, like we have our colleagues and friends working in other schools in the other districts or outskirts. So we are going to talk to them, and we are going to find out a convenient time or a convenient way of doing it. So maybe we are going to arrange a webinar very soon. We
Yes.
might, we might arrange it during the vacation of Kurbani Eid. So we can arrange a webinar during that time. And what we are planning to include our parents as well, because unless we hear from our parents, we can't actually find out what type of solutions they are seeking for. So very soon we are going to conduct a webinar, and we will send our messages and invitations throughout the entire country. And I wouldn't be wrong if I add here that we have some plans to reach internationally. Like we are
Super,
trying to
super.
contact with some of the international organizations, some of the organizations from Malaysia or UK. Like we have listed it out, and we are trying to connect with them so that they would like to join with us. It will be a reciprocal understanding and learning. Like we are going to learn from them, they are going to learn from us. So I believe they will be happily agreeing with our offer.
Super.
So our work is going on. Our work is going on. Inshallah, we will try to bring
Super.
in something different. And I'm actually through this program, I'm actually sending this message to all our colleagues, because I believe all our colleagues are like, most of our colleagues are watching us right now. So I want to
Absolutely.
invite them that this is one platform, and we all teachers, educators, we belong to the same umbrella, under the same umbrella. So
Under the
we
same
can join
umbrella.
together and create a very different scenario, a very convenient scenario for our students,
All
for the
right.
future generation. Yeah, fine.
I just found out one point from Sonia, if Sorry
Super,
allows me
super.
to.
Miss,
Sorry
yes,
sir
sir.
allows me to. See, I find
Yes,
the
please, sir.
webinar thing
Sir.
that Sonia was mentioning, we definitely need that, because I find without the parents' feedback, we are stranded. They are
Absolutely.
our, they are the sponsor. You have to understand that. If I'm a coach, if I'm a coach to the candidate,
Exactly.
they're the sponsor. So I need to have this feedback. I have a goal set that, see, you're buying this product, fine. So I get that. So how the product is reaching them, the best way to get the feedback is from the parents. So we need to interact with the parent. We need to bring them in the talking session. Okay. Anyway,
Superb, superb. So, so if I'm not wrong, you are planning to offer it for the colleagues, exactly all teacher. It could be any curriculum, and you also planning to invite all parents so that they can get to know about your solution and how they can adopt this technology-based education exactly. So,
Right.
sir, I would like to get attention of Shabab sir. Shabab sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sir. One question that came to us. Um, Asking you exactly, I'd like to, if you see that screen, one question that we got, how do
scientific.
you plan to taking online mock and exams? So,
Oh,
because assessment,
very
that
simple.
question, could you please answer
Very,
this
very
question?
that's very simple. What I am doing, that is, at first I should let the parents know that I will be taking an exam on that date. So, and the second thing is I have myself as the invigilator and my assistant also as the invigilator. We're keeping a watch through the webcam as the webcam is on. During the exam, we can keep the webcam
Everybody,
on.
yes, yes.
And before the exam, before like 2 days or one day, we can just let the parents know that we are going to take an exam. Just you do a help, you do just keep a eye that the students does not cheat, so that how we can prevent the cheating, or we can prevent the copying during the exam. And for sending the question paper, we can do that through Google Classroom. That's very easy. Through Google Classroom, we can send the question paper and get back the paper very well. And as we have to adapt with the situation, we can actually put some questions which do not have some diagrams, or which have to be done on the question paper. Like we can avoid labeling, or we can do that. Like we can label them like A, B, C, and we should do something. We should provide the question paper in such a way so that students can easily write in a single script, and we can check that easily. So I think this is a very easy solution, and a lot of schools are doing like that.
Very good, sir. Thanks for the solution. Exactly. I think when you are going to have a session with all the teachers and parents and students and future that we were talking about, so that time also you can share how you are going to do or how you are doing it exactly in your
Okay.
classroom or for the assessment. Okay. So, sir, afternoon, sir. I will go to you again, afternoon, sir. Afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I
Oh, very
can.
good. Thank you. So we are going to make it long. I have already mentioned it because we are sharing nationally because you came for a national call. Thank you again to each and everyone. Exactly, careercare.com exactly taking care of career development, and you are helping a lot to the people who will choose this career exactly teaching as a profession. Thank you, sir. This is future. You are talking about present and future, not about past. Thank you, sir, for showing us the future. Afnan, sir, one question that exactly coming from our student. If they miss their classes, like online classes, you have already mentioned you are preserving that and you are sharing that with your existing student or your student, and you have also video, I think YouTube channel you have mentioned.
Right.
Okay, so they are also getting from there. The question is, if they want to get it, is it easy and accessible for everyone, or they have to enroll for that?
No, actually, like I have some videos that are actually free. Okay, that is
All
I am
right,
teaching. But actually,
all
the
right,
class videos where I'm taking the class, that is actually for the particular students. And at the same time, actually, I have some unlisted videos. That is actually they like in YouTube. I have some unlisted videos. So those are actually addressing that some particular students. Okay, for example, okay, I solved a few problems, but I told them to do some problem at home. But maybe they found it difficult. So I can discuss it in class, but also I can make an unlisted video. I can send it to them, and so they watched the video, they understood. So that also saves my class time.
all
And
right.
Good point, sir.
okay,
Very good point. Very good point.
Very good. So right after that, they can communicate with you. I think. How do they communicate in your next class, or they can communicate personally?
they can communicate personally, definitely.
All right.
Basically, for every group, like right now at home, I'm just doing it in Messenger. Okay, but like there are other ways also you can do it. You can have like you can use Google Classroom. In school, you're actually using Google Classroom.
Very
So
good.
so they can communicate very easily. And also in online, I've seen that students are more enthusiastic in the sense that I finish a topic today, like say at night. So tomorrow morning, actually, they're asking, sir, how to do this sum of this exercise. So they're actually more enthusiastic. They're keeping me on my toes, basically.
Yes, yes.
Okay, very good. And sir, one more question that because we are sharing here, that question is exactly what are the tools you are using? Could you please share with others so that they can use the same tool what you are using in your class or
Okay.
in background also, like when you are preparing your materials. So what are the tools you are using to prepare your materials also? Could you please share
Okay,
with us?
so actually, this is I'm actually doing it very simply. Like I'm not using any fancy tools that you have to buy something or like Surface Pro or any other expensive equipment. Basically, I have a whiteboard. So basically, I'm using Zoom, and
All
so
right.
like the way I used to take class in school, in a similar way, actually, I'm taking at home also in very similar way. But at the same time, sometimes I use the extra facilities. For example, let's say I'm solving a question from the question paper. At that time, actually, in Zoom, I can use the share screen feature. So that also helps
Right.
the student. They can
Absolutely.
see it there, and at the same time, it's also very convenient that they can see the question there, and also I can when I'm solving it on the board, it is actually large enough that they can actually follow.
Fine.
All right. So you have already mentioned that you are using Google Classroom also.
Google Classroom actually in school I'm using, but
Okay.
in my private practice I'll be using very soon. But still I
All
haven't
right.
used. Actually, but in school I'm using Google Classroom.
Very good. So Google Classroom, Google Meet, and your Zoom that you are using exactly. Thank you, sir. Thanks
Right.
for sharing that about your conducting class. And Sonia, I like to share something on it.
Yeah,
What are
exactly.
the what are the tool you are using?
Okay, I'm exactly using the same tools like
All
my
right.
whiteboard and my Zoom classroom. And I have also said it beforehand that the entire resources on the internet, that is just a click away. So I can use it from there. But one thing I'm doing, especially for my subject, I think that is helping me a lot. For example, like I have some sample assignment. I mean, the students, those who have scored good in previous examinations, like I have some sample answers. Some answers are written by me. I mean, I'm talking about the physical notes of different syllabus, I mean different sections. So what happens, I even tell my students, for example, maybe they are not traveling within the city, but their cars are traveling, their chauffeurs are going to places to get things, their parents are going to places. So sometimes I just tell my students that if your parent or your chauffeur is visiting this area, just tell him to come to my place. I'll pack your things in an envelope and I'll give it to him so that you can get the physical notes at home. So that is one more thing I'm doing for my English language notes, that I actually try to provide them with the physical notes, I mean the papers, through this method. So I think that will help some other subjects as well.
Very
Good.
good. Very good.
Good.
Uh,
Yeah.
sir, Ronald, sir, would you like to add something on it, like any other material or any other tools that you are using, or all these tools that help?
I basically use Zoom, and I find it very, very comfortable because I have lots of options to use that. And when I'm setting my class, I know that I have to do. Say for particular, my physics student will obviously know. So I'm doing the density. I'm teaching them what is density. So I have some of the files open, some of the drawing open, and I will share. And I will be also having some equations to form. So it's very easy that I am sharing the screen and uh, bringing them. See, the equation is here, the formula is here, and this is the math that I'm going to show you now. I sometimes write, and I write it, I intentionally keep some blank so that I ask them, hey, you answer me. That what do you understand by mass per unit volume? So what is volume? So I ask one or two questions, student, you tell me. Then I also, it's sort of a, interactive classes, interactive session. So I write their notes and try to compare. See, your one is better than his one because uh, many points are covered from his idea. No, so as a tool, I find Zoom to be very classic because I have so many uh, folders open at the simultaneously. I can show the internet browsing and also the video clips there. So it's fantastic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I hope we try to share lots of things together. We took long time today. Thanks for being with us, and thank you, sir, ma'am, for your valuable time today. And you share lots of things, lots of issues, exactly from syllabus completion to assessment. Also, the tools that you are using in your classroom, exactly the online solution, the whole solution you try to share within 1 hour 30 minutes. So thanks for sharing all these issues. I want to listen today for the last instruction or last information, because you have already mentioned that right before it you are going to have a huge session, webinar session with good number of teachers and parents. So I would like to listen from each and everyone the last call or the last discussion that you would like to share with your student, parents, and your colleagues. First of all, I'll go to Parthu sir. Parthu sir, can you hear me? If you have anything,
Yeah.
any okay, Parthu sir is here. So could you please share
Yeah.
the last
Yes.
information that you would like to share with your student,
Uh,
parents, and your colleague?
last information, which just last
Okay.
information about this, it is a pandemic situation, so everybody should be safe and try to be safe as much as they can. Okay, so they should follow the rules they are suggesting by the government or by who or everything, and be safe, stay safe. That should be there. Education will going on like this, and we know that you can continue, and you can continue even 2 months, 3 months. That doesn't matter. Your
Absolutely.
education will continue, but don't miss that you have to go out, have to go, but just wait for 2 months so that this pandemic will over. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It's our goal exactly. Train is moving. You have to be on train, otherwise you will miss your train. Okay. So then I will go to Shamim sir. Exactly, Shamim sir. If you have anything important that you would like to share with your parents, with your student and your colleague.
Well, one thing I want to say is a very famous saying that goes along. All this hard work that we are trying to catch up to with online classes and everything else, the most important part is you can take the horse to the water, but you cannot make the horse drink the water. So, willingness has to come from the students. They have to be, and parents also, they have to encourage their children to learn in this new system. And the children also, students also have to be willing to learn. Okay, we can give everything, all resources, everything there is, but if they're not willing to learn, it's no use, you know. So it's the most
Thank you.
important thing is the children, but the students have to be willing to do the work and learn. And this way, the clock will keep ticking and learning will keep ongoing. No matter pandemic or whatever situation you are in, your brain will be working and you will be learning new things and developing ideas.
Thank you, sir. Yes, be ready. Be ready, because we can see good number of teachers here. You are willing to share, and yeah, thanks for the call. Exactly, for the parents and students. I'll go to Afnan sir. Afnan sir, what is the last call for the students and parents and
So
guardians?
actually, I'd like to repeat Shami sir's point. Like he made a very good point. Like all the resources in the world are of no use, and also like people learned a lot even without very few resources. So most important thing, like for the students, actually, irrespective of whether, irrespective of the pandemic, the technology tools available is the inner drive or the inner desire to learn and grow. That will be my point.
Thank you, sir. Again, here exactly that call. We exactly calling for today. Exactly, we call for how to optimize opportunities of online classes to meet the success. Again, the same call we are getting from each and everyone. I'll go to Sonia Miss, and right after that, the last call we are going to listen from Ronald sir. Sonia Miss, we want to listen from you.
Okay, so I would like to quote Partho sir as he has said that everything will be going on, but the very first thing you have to be careful about is to take care of yourself, like stay safe. Because we can study, we can go through, proceed with our career and everything, but first you have to be alive and safe. So that is the very first thing. And another thing I would like to mention here that actually BAs, our platform, this is not only the online platform, we also have the physical classes, opportunity of the physical classes. So once this, inshallah, this pandemic is over, our parents will have the choice. Like maybe during the entire month, those who are staying outside of Dhaka or maybe far away from our physical places, they can actually combine. They can have online classes, and maybe once in a week or once in fortnight they can come to our physical class. So we are going to offer all kind of convenience, but first of all, you have to stay safe.
Thank you, Miss. I would like to request Ronald sir to say
Yes.
the last word.
Yeah. In my opinion, see, I have a very different view of that. Now, since when I looked at the online uh, version, I looked at a version of a new system. Trust me, and I'm going to have a little more detailed part added to that. See, if looking at this cell phone, maybe I have iPhone 6 when I started it. The certain feature is not available now, and some new feature came which wasn't there then. This is what we are now. The pandemic situation, the online situation, but some of the features are not available, and some of the feature we are having now is the ultimate. Please try to understand what I said. Some of the feature that we had before is not available, and then some of the feature that we have now will not be found later. And this is the ultimate. I'm not being prejudiced here that the pandemic would not be over. I'm
Right.
praying, hopeful that it will be over, practical or not. I'm doing physical class or online class or whatever. I find this is the ultimate solution. One way or the other, one way or the other, it's a new era of education. Other options are gone, and other option will be coming. But this is a new version of online education. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We want to wrap up today. Be safe and be connected, and hope for the best and hope for
Thank you.
the better life
Thank
Have a
you.
in
good night.
future. Thank you,
Thank you
Thank
for
you
everyone.
so much.
Good
thank you
night.
for calling us there.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
having
inviting
us
us.
all. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Good night.
Thank you.